Alright, so today when we get started on the scrapbook page, I am using some old product. Starshine by Shimelle was my favorite collection that she did. In fact, I liked it so much, I actually bought 2 packs of the paper when they showed up at Tuesday morning. It was $3. I'm like, even if I just use 3 different pages out of it, pieces of paper, then it's paid for itself. And I love both sides of this. And this side, I like this one. I'll show you the other side in just a moment after I get everything off of it. But it's awesome too. So I think I'm primarily going to start with these as my large pieces. And then this is all my scraps. I have all my little scraps in the little baggie so they don't get lost and banged around in there, and then my larger stuff. So I do have the 6x6 pad. I haven't pulled it out yet, but I don't know if I'll need the smaller scale prints or not. And I have some chipboard and some stickers from that collection. Now, this challenge I'm doing is from Miranda Weber's group, #MyScrappyLife. Find that on Facebook. And she is doing a monthly challenge. And well, she's actually doing 7 of them, and I've done 5. I've got 2 left to do before July is over. And her Grab 5 was unique. She didn't give you 5 products. She made you choose 5 products that started with the first letter of your first name or the first letter of your last name. So I have Midnight Blue Crystal Drops, Apple Green Crystal Drops, Mousse, Mist, and then in general the color Aqua. So I have my Aqua drops here, and I also pulled out my Aqua embellishment box to see if there was stuff in there I could add. So my plan is to only use these 2 as larger sheets, and I might actually only use this one because I have a large piece of this orange one in my scrap pouch. So I'm going to put this on my computer where I can see it because I am horrible about forgetting the things I always need in a Grab 5. And let's get started. By the way, this sparkle spray came, I only have a sample size so far. It came in the Tonic craft kit. Y'all, this sparkle spray, I mean, look at that shine. Like I'm not a huge mist person anymore. I have a ton and a half of the Glimmer Mist. Like 80 some different colors. So I don't tend to buy more mist because if I want some, I have it. But this sparkle spray by Nuvo is amazing. This color isn't out yet to purchase. It's coming out as soon as they debut Trend 1, but it's called Peacock Blue. And if you like sparkle, pick it up or pick up any of the other ones. All right, so let's get started. All right, so I just flipped that star paper over and very quickly shows you the other side. It's the patchwork side of it, and it has all these different patterns, and that's why I love it, because I can cut apart one sheet and get over a dozen different patterns. Now I have all of my little scraps. Shimelle is one paper brand that I don't throw away little scraps. I can always find ways to use it. For this collection, like I said earlier, it is my favorite. I went through my swatch book and pulled out the swatches that started with the first letters of my first and last name, and then went through and chose a collection to go with it. So I have that dark blue, the calming aqua, and the apple green, and that green zigzag paper right there is the one that I thought of when I started. Well, in classic Scrapping Amy fashion, I have managed to glue stuff down and forget about the mixed media that I was going to do, which you'll see me add in just a moment. I'll go ahead and edging all of these with black soot. Some of them I've already used the black soot. They were from another time. I just ended up not using those pieces of paper, and I still save those. Now, this is where I was like, oh yeah, I was gonna add in that embellishment mousse. So the embellishment mousse color I'm using is Aquamarine. And it really, really matches the star paper. So I don't really like how that looks, but I'm going to pull out that Peacock Feathers sparkle spray and use that. And there's my little checklist I'm going through, and I always cross out going, all right, I've used that one, I've used that one. This is my little spraying corral, I guess you can say. I try to keep the stuff safe, the rest of my desk safe. And this is actually a box from Close to My Heart, and that's how they ship their things, and it's great because it's already like it has some of those flaps to keep things in. So I just moved the entire box off to the side to let that sparkle spray dry. I get really impatient and end up using my heat gun in a little bit. finish all these little scraps. And even that little tiny green one, it would have been any other collection besides Shimelle, I would not have saved it. I will confess that 100%. That polka dot is one of the back sides of the star page, and this is where I like it. It's one of their largest pieces in there, but it's a great way to add a little bit of pattern, and I don't have to cut up, you know, multiple pieces of paper, because that same sheet will last me, you know, 5 or 6 layouts. I can punch from it and everything. The orange zigzags I really wanted to use. I honestly think that's one of my favorite pages, and I end up, I only had one sheet of it, I think, which is kind of sad, but I didn't want those zigzags to be on top of the green zigzags, which is why I end up using that strip of the dark pink floral. That's the other bulk pack I bought. Now, all of these stickers, I have one of the little Lazy Susan making memory things, the white ones that had the drawers and stuff in it. And I have a section of that I put all of these stickers in there. And they're just so I can grab them. The problem is I forget to use them, or I do remember and they don't match. This time though, I actually found quite a bit that matched. Some of these are stickers that are going back, way back to like 2012. I've got a lot of my Mind's Eye in there. This one is Simple Stories. That was a newer page in there. But I've just got all sorts of stuff. And I pull through, I look going, this matches, this matches, this matches, this doesn't. And so I just went ahead and pulled the things. I end up pulling some doilies, which really aren't something I would think about with this particular collection. However, color-wise, it works great. And because I know I'm going to be cutting it up and using them as layers, having those as the back focal points works really well. So here we go. Now I have my little L. I've got the strips of various patterns off to the side, so that way I am ready to start building the actual layout. Now I actually texted a friend of mine, actually Miranda, this particular picture of my background, and she came back later and went, oh my gosh, you covered up all your mixed media, which I didn't cover up all of it, but I did cover up most of it. Some of it I liked, and what I end up liking particularly about this is the fact that I have just the little overspray showing for a lot of it. I did not, because I'm doing all of the pattern for the little L-shaped sections, I did not do patterns for my layers for my actual photo. I mean, I really enjoy putting in like 15 million different layers of pattern paper, but I didn't. I just went strictly with a piece of navy cardstock and went with that. Now, this is one of my favorite tricks to make something appear bigger than it actually is. I just cut it in half and I use the small strips on either side, and you just cover up the fact that there's a big gap in the middle missing. So rarely do I ever have stuff all the way matched up to the very side of the page like that, but I kind of liked how it looked for this one, and I wanted the horizontal strips to come out at different points. For some reason, I thought that was going to be like really important for me. Trusty T-square to make sure, I use the T-square, excuse me, to make sure everything's lined up. So if I end up having those two patterns and they're not lined up, it doesn't look like a single piece. So the T-square is what I use to make sure that everything looks lined up. And I really did like it going horizontally, but then I realized when I put the larger, I can't talk, put the larger layers down, I was like, oh, well, it's not going to fit there anymore. Not a problem, just flip it. And now it looks like I have this 8-inch strip of it, when in reality I've got like maybe 2 inches of it. Using my favorite foam tape from Scrapbook.com. That stuff is amazing. And here we are now with the doilies. Now, my first plan was to double side this one. And then I realized, I'm like, oh, that's really not going to fit. So I trim it down. And so you just get a tiny hint peeking out of the side. Then I decide maybe it's time to actually glue my photo down. I'm trying to grab my layout from my other desk so I can actually look at it. So here are the 3 main spots. And using the little cutoffs from like the pink doily up at the top, and even from the one that's by the photo, I put that up at the top. It helps to create the layers, and it helps to bring all the colors to each section. Now that little strip that I just put down at the bottom says Handsome and Charming, and the one up, the tab up at the top, that says Sweet. And then I took the little cutoff from the Handsome and Charming one and put it up at the top as well. So again, I'm bringing in that darker color. There's also one down there, the banner, fishtail banner, that says Tender Heart. And then the Simple Stories at the top, I put So Happy here. And then over on the side, I'm about to add one that says, well, there it is. It says Loved, and then I have Finding Love at the bottom. Now, I keep the embellishments. When I'm done with a collection, I break up the embellishments, and I put them in these different color boxes. This lets me pull out a box to make sure I have everything that's going to match. So pulling out my Aqua box means all this stuff is going to go with it. So I actually went through, and again, I'm pulling out older product. I pulled out some chipboard from Bella Boulevard. This is chipboard I have had in there forever. The reason it's in here is because I end up, it was in the chipboard packaging, but it all fell out. You know how sometimes they'll fall out of it where they're surrounded by. The glue wasn't working anymore, so I just went ahead and put them all. I have a couple different ones in different colors. Put them all in their color boxes. This lets me grab them. I still have some more where the adhesive actually works, and it's in with my Bella Boulevard paper. But this is not something I would have thought to go look at Bella Boulevard going, oh yeah, they've got those chipboard pieces. So seeing them in the actual kit, or in my Aqua little Aqua box, see if I can talk, that was a great reminder to pull them and use them. I sometimes struggle with using them because like I'm going to add a little tab up at the top with that's a heart. And those kinds of things are hard for me to add because I feel like they need to be tucked in somewhere. With how I built the top layers, it seemed to work. Here I am pulling out some of those chipboard pieces. And you'll notice I even have enamel pieces in there. I have enamel dots. And I always reach for my Nuvo now. I don't even think about reaching for enamel dots anymore. Every once in a while I do, particularly if it's a collection of Shimelle's and I'm looking through her specifically branded stuff because I know I've got matching things there. This little Us tab is just the cardstock one that's from Bella Boulevard as well, from one of their die cut packs, and I used up most of the kit, or it came in another kit. Actually, it's another possibility, and it just goes in here once I'm done with it. And there's that little chipboard tab I was just talking about. I actually like how it looks there. It's small and it brings the chipboard up to that spot because I have dimension with the flowers on either side. And you notice in a moment, oh, there we go, right there. I add that chipboard semicircle with the stripes, but that kind of helps to frame that area. And I do have some random stickers, the one that says We Are Here, and because I'm writing about specifically Tucker being in my scrapbook room. So I'm now adding the Green Apple, Midnight Blue, and Calming Aqua Nuvo drops. I will leave links for everything down below, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'd love to hear what you think of this layout. And I have links to all of my social media pages, including my Facebook group down below, as well as links to the products that are still available because, like I said, this is a lot of old stuff. But I hope you guys all have a lovely day. Bye!